So dear students, welcome you all. So today we are going to discuss about the resin finishes. Resin finishes. Okay. So in the last class we have discussed in detail about the water repellent finishes. Water repellent finishes. Okay. So in that water repellent finishes we have discussed in detail about what is this water repellency and how to achieve this water repellency by using different water repellent chemicals. And also we have seen what is the surface energy concept and how the surface energy concept is related to water repellency. And also we have seen what are the different methods to apply this water repellents to textile substrates and also its evaluation methods. How to evaluate the water repellent treated fabrics. So this is all we have discussed in our previous classes, previous sessions. Okay. So today's class we are going to concentrate on this resin finishes. Resin finishes. Now, so if you look at the contents which we are going to discuss in this presentation is, the first one is, so the mechanism of creasing and resin finishing, mechanism of creasing and resin finishing, and concept of anticrease, what exactly this anticrease indicates, and then wash and wear finishes, and then durable press, and eco-friendly cross linking agents, and then evaluation of this resin finishes. So these are the different contents which we are going to discuss in this presentation. Okay. So the main objective of the today's presentation is to impart knowledge in way, that is the resin finishing of cellulose based materials. So what is the need for this resin finishing of cellulose based fabrics? Okay, and the outcome you are going to get at the end of this presentation is you will be able to understand the various reasons for formation of creases in cellulose based material and how to prevent the creases and how to make the cellulosic fabrics anti-crease or wrinkle free. So these are the outcomes you are going to get at the end of this presentation. Okay. Now, if you look at the resin finishes, the resin finishing. So these resin finishes are mainly intended for the cellulose based material. Resin finishes are mainly intended for cellulose based materials. So why it is alone for the cellulose based materials? So that is because of where the structure of cellulose, that is because of, or we can say that the formation of creases after washing is the biggest problem with this cellulose based materials. Especially cotton. And if you look at this cotton, where most of the times we are using this cotton for apparels, where even each and every time after washing, if you see, where some kind of folds that are happening, some kind of crease marks that are happening in the cotton. So every time after washing, if you want to wear the cotton garment, that is garment made out of cotton, you have to do this ironing process. So this is the biggest, or we can say this is one of the disadvantage with this cotton based fabrics. Okay. So to make the cotton fabrics crease free, or anti-crease, to get anti-creasing in the cotton fabrics, where we are giving this resin finishes. And if you want to understand this various reasons, for this crease formation, why cotton fabrics or cellulose fabrics are getting creases, where you should understand the internal structure of the fiber. This is very, very important. You should understand the internal structure of the fiber. So if you suppose now I am wearing this cotton shirt, where if some creases are forming in the sense where obviously the appearance is going to be affected. But simply by looking at the fabric, we cannot say what is the reason behind this crease formation. Okay, one has to understand the different reasons for crease formation. He should first understand what are the reasons, that is, what is the structure of the fiber and what changes that are made in this fiber structure to get or for the formation of creases. So what I mean to say is, so in order to understand the reasons for formation of creases, we should understand the fiber structure. Even though the cotton is having numerous advantages with respect to comfort, with respect to easy cleaning, with respect to this easy absorbing of moisture. Okay, so with respect to numerous advantages of cotton, where it is lagging with this disadvantage, which is nothing but this formation of creases after washing. Understand? And so this is what the thing is. Now you can see the structure of cotton. Okay, now you can see that cellobias monomer of the cellulose. Cellulose is a polymer which is made out of these monomers. Now you can see the structure. Okay, so this is what the structure of cellulose. Okay, now if you look at or if you carefully observe this structure, where we have OH groups are there, right? Here one OH, total CH2OH, and then OH here and OH. So hydroxyl groups are present in the cellulosic, that is cellulose. Hydroxyl groups are present in the cellulose. So which is responsible for moisture absorption. Okay, now the studies have also shown that the hydrogen atoms of all hydroxyl groups are hydrogen bonded. That means between one hydroxyl group to another hydroxyl group, where there will be some hydrogen bonding. These hydrogen bonds will hold several adjacent cellulosic chains in a close alignment to form crystalline areas, which is called as microfibrils. I am repeating again. So whatever these hydrogen bonds between these hydroxyl groups in a cellulose, it holds several adjacent cellulosic chains in a close alignment to form the crystalline areas or crystalline regions, which is also called as microfibrils. And between the crystalline regions, where it is about 70% will be there in 60 to 70% is the amount of crystalline region in cellulose. So apart from this crystalline region, where in cotton some kind of disordered regions are also found, that kind of disordered regions are called as amorphous regions. So now you have to understand one thing. So what is the need for studying all these fiber structure, internal structure of the fiber? Okay, now, so what is our main problem we have identified? We have identified the main problem with this cotton is the formation of creases. First, what we are trying to do, we are trying to know how these creases are forming in cotton fabric. And once we come to know the various reasons for formation of creases, obviously we can find the various solutions to make the cotton fabric not to form any creases after washing. So this thing you need to keep in your mind. Even for whatever it may be the finishes we are discussing. Either it may be water repellent, either it may be resin finishes, soil release finishes, flame retardant, UV resistive finishes, antimicrobial, whatever it may be the finish if you take up. First you should understand what is the problem. What is the problem with the particular what we are targeting. So here our main target is the formation of crease in a cotton. That is our main target. And to know the different reasons for the formation of crease, what we are doing, we are just digging into the various reasons. We are digging into the fiber internal structure. So here it comes, or here we found where in cellulose, cotton, the polymer is cellulose, and we have seen the chemical structure of cellulose, which consists of hydroxyl groups. So between one hydroxyl group and another hydroxyl group, we have this hydrogen bonding. So this hydrogen bonding will leads to hold several adjacent cellulosic chains in a close alignment. So this results in formation of crystalline region. Apart from holding the several adjacent cellulosic chains in a close manner, where there will be some kind of disordered regions, that means irregular arrangement of molecules in a cellulose, that was also observed. So that kind of regions we call it as amorphous regions. So that means what? In amorphous regions also we have the hydroxyl group, that is OH groups, but there won't be hydrogen bonding between these hydroxyl groups. Why? Because already these molecules are randomly arranged. That means it is not closely packed. If it is closely packed, then we can easily say that between one hydroxyl group and another hydroxyl group, strong hydrogen bonding is there. But when it comes to amorphous regions, where the molecules are arranged randomly or irregularly, there won't be any closeness. Obviously what will happen? There won't be that much bond formation between the hydroxyl groups in the amorphous region. Okay. Now, so if you look at the amorphous regions, because of the irregular arrangement of molecules, where you can see some kind of space is created inside. So that will allow the penetration of dyes and chemicals more readily. And when it comes to this the cellulose polymer is quite reactive because of it consists of 3 free hydroxyl groups. Even in the previous slide I have shown you, where in cotton, that is cellulose structure, we found 3 free hydroxyl groups. Again, remember carefully, whatever the hydroxyl groups that are available in the cotton, which is responsible for most of the chemical reactions with other chemicals. Suppose if you are applying color, so the color will make a bond with this hydroxyl group. If you are applying any other finished chemicals, that finished chemicals will react with these free hydroxyl groups. And here also again you can see. So here one OH, here one OH, and here one. Likewise, 3 free hydroxyl groups will be there. So which is responsible for reacting with the chemicals. Okay. So the hydroxyl groups, if you take these hydroxyl groups, which are normally hydrogen bonded, as I already discussed in the previous slides, whatever the hydrogen bonding, the hydroxyl groups are there, where between one hydroxyl group to another hydroxyl group, we have this hydrogen bonding, but the bond breaks quickly when immersed in water. This is the problem with the cellulose. I think now we are coming closer to understand why the cotton forming creases. Okay, so what it is saying here, again I am repeating, whatever the hydroxyl groups are there, which are hydrogen bonded, but these hydrogen bonds breaks quickly when immersed in water. Now what will happen? The hydrophilicity of cellulose is due to the presence of large number of hydroxyl groups along its polymer chain. So when immersed in water, the fiber it will readily absorb the water. That is because of the reason is where it consists of large number of hydroxyl groups, and after absorption of water, what will happen? Where the hydrogen bonding between hydroxyl groups will break. Now what we have seen in the structure, in crystalline regions we have hydroxyl groups, and in amorphous region we have hydroxyl groups. So what is the criterion crystalline regions? Where the close packing of polymeric chains will be there. Close packing of polymeric chains. Since these are closely packed, what will happen? Between one hydroxyl group to another hydroxyl group, strong hydrogen bonding will be there. That's why this kind of arrangement will give us the strength to the fiber. And within this crystalline region, no water molecules and no other the chemicals will enter. That is because of the close packing. Understand? But when it comes to amorphous region, as you already know, the packing is irregular. The polymeric chains are irregularly arranged. Even though hydroxyl groups are there, where there will be some irregular arrangement of molecules or polymeric chains. Now what will happen? What will happen? Since these two chains are far away, where between one hydroxyl group to another hydroxyl group, where there won't be that much bond formation. Okay. So the cotton fiber, we are using most of the times because of its high absorption, strength and resistance to abrasion. And how this absorption is coming? That is because of this irregular arrangement of polymeric chain, which creates gap in the fiber structure. That's why the cotton is having so high moisture absorption. And when it comes to strength, how strength is coming? That is because of close packing of polymeric chains. And also it is resistance to abrasion. So by having all these properties, where the cotton yields the comfortable and the robust garment at competitive prices. Okay, so till now we have understood what is where the cotton fabrics are most widely used and the various reasons for its usage, and we have seen in detail about the chemical structure of cotton. I hope which you might be studied in your previous semesters. Again I am just repeating it. So we have studied in detail about the chemical structure of cotton. That is the cellulosic structure. How these how many number of hydroxyl groups are there, and what is what will happen because of this more number of hydroxyl groups in the cotton, and what is this crystalline region, and what is this amorphous region, and what happens because of the crystalline region, and how the polymer chains will be there in crystalline region. And when it comes to amorphous region, we have seen what is this amorphous region and how the molecules are arranged. So this is all we have discussed till now. Okay, now when you come to these garments which is made out of this 100% cotton, are comfortable because they absorb moisture. Okay, and the main problem, as we discussed already, it will badly wrinkle during wear after washing, where we need to iron each and every time if you are wearing the garments made out of cotton. Okay, now we will see what is this crease. Till now we didn't say anything about how these creases are forming. So till now we have discussed the chemical structure of cotton. So without knowing the chemical structure or internal structure of fiber, we cannot dig it, the reason behind this creasing. So first we will see what is a crease. It is nothing but a fold in a fabric. Fold in a fabric introduced unintentionally at some stage of processing. That is called as crease. And crease resistant in the sense which is nothing but the ability of the fabric to resist the formation of creases. The ability of the fabric to resist the formation of creases. That is called as crease resistance. Okay, now if you look at where these creases are forming, or how, that is, at what is the main criteria, or what are the probable chances where these cotton garments are getting creases. That is, after washing and drying, cotton garments where we are imparting lot of stresses like mechanical forces on the cotton, like we are folding it, we are just twisting it. Okay, because of doing all these things, at the end where these creases are appear after drying, where it will hinders the appearance of the garments. Understand? So most of these shortcomings within this cotton can be improved by applying a durable press finish properly, or resin finishing properly. And also one more disadvantage with the cotton you might be knowing, that is with respect to its shrinkage. So after absorbing the water, where the cotton is getting shrink, that is because of fiber swelling. Okay, now we will discuss what are the various reasons for the crease formation. So as we have already seen, the creasing behavior is it is a main problem with the cellulose fabrics such as cotton, flax, rayon, and then ramie. Understand? So even after washing, the garments made out of these fibers, after washing, it forms the creases which hinders the appearance of the garment. Okay, so the main reason, all of you understand carefully, the main reason behind these cellulosic fabrics to form creases is, or it may be directly linked to the mobility of free hydroxyl groups in a polymeric chain. All of you make a note of it. This is very important thing you need to understand. Mobility of free hydroxyl groups in the polymeric chain. So in the previous slides we have discussed where in crystalline regions we have close packing of polymeric chains. In amorphous region we have irregular arrangement of polymeric chain or disordered arrangement of polymeric chain. And one more thing is, both in amorphous and crystalline regions there will be hydroxyl groups. Whereas in case of crystalline regions, because of close packing of polymeric chains, these hydroxyl groups are not free. Why? Because between one hydroxyl group and another hydroxyl group, hydrogen bond is there, which is very strong. Understand? Which is very strong at this moment. Why? Because these are very close. When it comes to amorphous region, now just think about it. In amorphous region, how these hydroxyl groups will be there? Do you think it is not free, like there won't be any hydrogen bonding between it? Obviously not. Why? Because where these two are arranged, these hydroxyl groups are there at a certain distance. So at this distance where hydrogen bond formation cannot takes place. So this is the reason for formation of creases in cotton fabrics. So where it is that is what given here. Mobility of free hydroxyl groups in polymeric chain. Because of these hydroxyl groups are free, easily it can move and it can form some other form. Understand? So this is the main reason. And the frequent breaking and reforming of hydrogen bonds while in the physically stressed conditions. Now what is happening? Because of these free hydroxyl groups in amorphous region, if you are applying some stress or if you are applying some mechanical forces, so what is happening? Where the hydrogen bonds or these hydroxyl groups, between hydroxyl groups in the amorphous region, there will be new hydrogen bond formation. So this new hydrogen bond formation, it will result in the formation of creases. Understand? Now what we can think about this? Because of the presence of free hydroxyl groups in the amorphous region, the presence of free hydroxyl groups in the amorphous region during applying some mechanical stress or any other forces, what is happening? There will be some reformation of hydrogen bond in the amorphous region. That means what? Earlier there won't be any hydrogen bond in the amorphous region. Now, because of applying these forces or mechanical stresses, what is happening? Where the new hydrogen bonds are forming in amorphous region. So now you can see in this image clearly where this is the crystalline region and this is the amorphous region. Crystalline, and this is crystalline and this is amorphous region. Now you see in crystalline how closely the polymeric chains are there. Like you can see hydroxyl. Between hydroxyl group we have this hydrogen bonding. That is very close. When it comes to amorphous region, you can see it is not orderly or it is not closely packed. Now you see here one hydroxyl is there and here one OH group is there. Between these there won't be any hydrogen bond. Why? Because the arrangement is somewhat, it is far away. Understand? Now you can see this. Now what I am saying, because of this free hydroxyl groups in the amorphous region, what is happening is where these hydroxyl groups are free, so there won't be any bonding. Now during washing, what we are doing generally, we are applying some mechanical stresses, or even see if you just simply fold it. Now what is happening? The free hydroxyl groups in the amorphous region come close. Why? Because you are just doing it, you are stressing it, you are applying some stresses. These free hydroxyl groups will come close. When these two hydroxyl groups are coming closer, obviously what will happen? There will be a new hydrogen bond formation takes place. Because of the formation of new hydrogen bond, where after washing and drying, where we are finding the creases which are very very prominent. Understand? So again you may have a doubt, and how these creases are disappearing after ironing process. After the ironing process. So again the reason is very very simple. So the reason for formation of creases, because of the newly formed hydrogen bonds in the amorphous region. Now during ironing what is happening? These newly formed hydrogen bonds that will break and the cotton will go to its earlier state. That's why after ironing where the creases will not prominent. That is the reason. Understand? Again the same thing, like whatever the thing we have discussed, where you should understand or where you should remember this hydrogen bonding which is there in crystalline regions, which is not there in amorphous region in its normal state. And when it comes to this, whenever you are crushing it or you are doing washing, whenever you are applying some mechanical forces, so what is happening? Where new hydrogen bonds are forming in the amorphous region, and then after ironing these bonds will get break. Again the cotton come back to its original state. So this is all the reason for the formation of different creases. Okay. So when it comes to cotton or when it comes to this viscose, which wrinkles easily, that is because of it is made out of the cellulose only. But when you just think about the polyester, do you think polyester will form creases? Polyester nylon. Do you think? Have you ever experienced with this? polyester and nylon will form the creases? Obviously no. Why? Because there are no free, that is there are no free chains, polymeric chains in its polymer structure. So compact structure, very highly compact structure. Even in case of cotton, that is the closely packed assemblies are closely packed polymeric chains that are around 60 to 70%. When it comes to polyester, where it is more than 95%, then how the fiber will cause the creases? That is, even though you are applying some forces, you are crushing it, the creases are not prominent. Okay, if you observe closely this relation between cellulosic fibers and synthetic fibers, you can arrive at a inference that there is a relation between moisture absorption and then wrinkling. Since cotton and viscose can absorb more amount of moisture because of the amorphous region present where the wrinkling is taking place. When it comes to polyester and nylon, where the moisture absorbance is very less, so that there won't be any wrinkling. Understand? So this is what you need to understand. Okay. So when it comes to wool also, it absorbs moisture, but the creases are not prominent in wool because of it is due to its high elasticity. It quickly recovers after deformation. Even after deformation, because of its high elasticity of the wool than the cotton, where it recovers to its original shape. So that is the reason why this wool, even though it will absorb more amount of moisture, where creases are not prominent. Okay. Now, so till now we have discussed what is this cotton and what are the main problems or disadvantages with cotton, mainly with respect to creases, and we have seen how we are relating the structure with this crease formation, how we are relating the fiber structure to the crease formation in cotton. So this is what we have discussed till now, and now we are discussing the different resin finishes. Like the one category is wash and wear finish. The name itself you can easily understand. You are washing it and you can wear it easily. In between there is no ironing. So mainly if you look at these finishes, where it consists of formaldehyde, that means the finish solution, it consists of formaldehyde, which is used to get the required level of anti-creases. Okay, required level of anti-creases, anti-crease finish, so that the minimum ironing itself it is required after laundering, or there won't be any ironing after laundering. Okay, now this is the thing again. And when it comes to durable press finish, so here you can see the press, whatever the press or whatever the fold which is durable here. That means what? Suppose if you see some kind of this leisure wear, which is nothing but this where the leisure wears, the frocks and all, you can see the pleats, whatever the folds that you are seeing, that is permanent only, na? Even after ironing, the folds will not go. That is because of this durable press effect. So in our further discussions, we will discuss in detail about this durable press finish. So it is nothing but in simple ways, if you can say, where the retention of intentional creases or the formation of intentional creases to increase the appearance or value of the garment. Understand? So even after washing, if you look at these pleats, or we call it as pleats, where it is more or less permanent, and the fabric smoothness is referred to the durable press rating, and it is judged between 1 to 5 scale, because after this washing and all. Okay. So this is all about the today's class. In the next class we will discuss about the resin finishing. That means how to give this, how to provide this anti-crease effect in cotton with by different means. So that we will discuss in the next class. So thank you all.